Hello and welcome to the Super Sundays Boomer Live. Today we're going to be talking about two games, of course, because we had a double header. The first game, RCB defeated SRH, and the second game, CSK handed over thumping victory. CSK had a thumping victory over Delhi Capitals. We'll be talking about CSK's game first up because that's a game which just got over. Sandipani, welcome to the show. Let's get going. CSK looks like a very well-oiled machine, isn't it? After the comeback of Devon Conway into the side, and also with Ruturaj Gaikwad able to contribute here and there. And MS Dhoni, oh my God, he just looks like he has just gone back in time. He's looking fit in between the wickets. He's just smacking it all around. Ballers are fearing him all of a sudden. And their bowling has been really good as well because Bravo is back in the squad. Mahesh Dikshana has been quite crucial, and also the Indian bowlers have been able to step up. Moeen Ali has been a huge advantage for them. Sanimani, coming to you. This win for CSK, how big is it going to be for them in terms of their net run rate? Because I know they can only finish at 14 points, but still, mathematically, you'll still give them a chance, isn't it?
Yeah, but definitely, if they can have two more such thumping wins,
Yeah.
and Rajasthan Royals and RCB manage to lose the remainder of their games, then you never know. CSK just might get in through. But having
Mm.
said that, I always felt that 14 points was not going to cut your place to the playoffs because only 4 teams of the 10 would have qualified. But
Yeah.
as the tournament progressed, you had a feeling that you might just make it with 14 points with a superior net run rate. The fourth spot you might clinch it. There is still some chance that with 14 points you may clinch it, but
Very,
to
very
be
hard.
to be very fair, Kolkata, CSK, and Mumbai Indians are quite out of it right now.
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians are definitely eliminated, and it's very difficult for Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders to uh, climb the ladder to the playoffs. So it's
Right.
going to be very difficult. And talking about the win, I think Moeen Ali back from injury has been a huge boost for them in the last 2 games. And Devon Conway, I am still baffled. Where was he hiding? Where were they hiding him? Came in 3 games, 3 brilliant knocks, and with Rituraj Gaikwad, he has been giving them the starts. Rituraj Gaikwad also seems to have come to some sort of form. Now CSK have had like 50 plus partnerships in the opening stands in the last 3 games,
Yeah.
which they were not having. One of the struggles that CSK were facing, that whenever Rituraj Gaikwad was failing, there was Uthappa who was going on. Their opening stand was not clicking. If Rituraj was performing, then we saw that Uthappa was failing in that game. So they were never clicking together. With Devon Conway in, they have been clicking together. So and talking about Dhoni's fitness, I think that is one of the main reasons why the management decided to hand him back the captaincy again. Because if you think of it, why was MS Dhoni why did MS Dhoni step away from the captaincy? He probably thought that this will be his last, or probably the next one will be his last IPL. So
I
why not
bet
groom someone
the
like that?
moment you say that Dhoni will play a couple more seasons and even more, because I reckon he's like this, old age wine, where it just gets better with time and time, and he's just looking even fitter, and he's able to talk the ballers better than the last couple of years. I would say this is one of the best Dhoni I've seen in the last 2 3 years. 2019 was a very good season for them. After that, this is the Dhoni I've seen who looks eager to go out there and bat well. He's taking up the responsibility. Dhoni is confident when he's trying to come up the order to take on the ballers, isn't it? And he's trying to instill that fear factor upon the ballers, which you see of Dhoni, which you know of Dhoni over a long period of time. And he was absolutely majestic, even today, to finish things off. But one thing for me, which stood out the most is the opening partnership. Last 3 games, they've been able to have 200 plus partnership and 150 partnership. You reckon this pair has been complementing each other pretty well because of their ability to play the pace well? Alongside that, the most important factor is spin. Today, Devon Conway smashed Kuldeep Yadav in the first 8 balls for 13 runs. How big a factor is it to have an opener who complements each other?
I think it's very important, and the crucial thing for them is to not lose early wickets. You should not like, they are coming with the mindset that they won't be giving away their wicket cheaply. Just
Yeah,
play out the first 3 4 overs. Then the swing will eventually vanish, and after the 4 or 5th over, just go after the bowling. They have had this approach for the last three games now, since Devon Conway has been back. We have seen that they are like a bit. conservative early on in the first 3-4 overs while they are getting settled. And once they get set in the first, after the first 4-5 overs, one of the batters they start playing their shots while the other plays the anchor. And it's good to see that the role has not been like justified to somebody, like allotted to somebody. It's not that Devon Conway is coming in every game and going after the bowling and Rituraj is playing the anchor. Some days Rituraj, when he feels that he can go after the bowling, it's a good matchup for him, he will take on the bowling. Devon Conway will play the second fiddle. And when say somebody like a Kuldeep Yadav, Devon Conway loves playing spin, loves playing against spin. I think Devon Conway loves playing. He has an average of over 40 in almost all formats of the game, not just T20
Over
internationals,
50,
T20s
sorry,
as well.
over 50.
Yeah, over 50 almost. In T20s, I guess his average is
Yes,
somewhere around 45, 46.
I'm just counting IPL, T20Is, Test cricket, and ODI. He's got over 50, and that's a crazy good average to have. Those the sample size is very small, but then
Yeah.
he just shows that he's got the metal to play anywhere. You saw him in the T20 World Cup batting in the middle order. He did pretty well over there. You saw him at different positions. He's been able to deliver that for as team, whatever team he has played for. That's what makes him a class player. That's what differentiates him from others as well. You've seen him in Test cricket.
And
He's
he's a
been
gun
phenomenal.
fielder.
Yeah, he's a great fielder as well. You've seen him.
Yeah.
He fields on those hot spots where there are high traffic area where the ball comes, the square leg, the mid wicket, the long on region, and he's been able to pull it up more often than not. We have a question now. Uh, yeah, when Devon Conway has played the CSK has an average of 49 while chasing before they had 44 for two. Why has he been longer, bro? Yeah. So the question is, why wasn't Devon Conway given that longer rope? And that's something which we have been talking right now, isn't it? I reckon two things. They wanted to blood in an Indian opener. That bowling was a weaker suit. Possibly they wanted to go with a foreign bowler to cover that up. And also Devon Conway in between went for his wedding as well. But that was way late for him. He was dropped after
Yeah.
second game, if I'm not wrong. That's something which baffled me. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
so
yeah. Right
unlike
after that failure against KKR, he was dropped.
yeah, that was so unlike CSK to do it to a player. And I felt Devon Conway is like that Michael Assi kind of a player who will fit perfectly to CSK. He's got all the suits of a CSK kind of a player, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a great comparison. I mean, Michael Hussey is someone who will come to your mind when you think about Devon Conway, because he can come in at any stage of the game. He's a complete team man, Mr. Cricket as he is called. So
Yeah,
Devon Conway, I feel that CSK wanted their combination of foreign players to be two bowlers, one bowling all rounder, and a Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali was fixed. Like they wanted to have Moeen Ali at any cause in their team. So Moeen
yeah,
Ali was fixed, and say a Bravo was fixed, and they were just putting in permutations and combinations on the other two foreign players like Chris Jordan, Dwayne Pretorius, Mahesh Thikshana. Any two of the three were playing. So I think it took them some time to get the combination right, and probably it is too little too late for them this season. But
yeah,
it is very good signs for them in the next one, because they have now their team has a settled opening like combination. They have a settled opening combination. They have a proper finishing ammunition that they require at the end. Their middle order looks completely like very solid, with Ambati Raidu, Uthappa coming in, very experienced and very solid. And then you have the firepower of say Moeen Ali and Jadeja to give them the ammunition that they need at the end. And also talk about their bowling. Mahesh Thikshana coming in as the mystery spinner. I think CSK has had their like love for orthodox spin bowling. This is, I think, probably the first time that they have gone for a like a mystery spinner who has
yeah.
totally come good for them. Mystery
Right. I
spinners
mean,
are more
it's
like
always
KKR's
good.
forte. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and it always helps. And batsman, I've been having it a tough time to get away from because he's not doing something a lot. He's been just pitching it there, taking the ball slightly away, slightly in. But then batsmen are guessing quite too much. That doubt is what makes you win over the batsman. That's exactly what Mahesh Dixon has been doing, and he's been doing pretty well even for Sri Lanka as well. If you look at the last 1 year, he alongside Vanandu Hasranka has been tremendous. We'll talk about Vanandu
yeah,
Hasranka
that's
later
all.
on in the show. But
Yeah,
let's talk
that's
about
all you
Delhi
have to
Capitals.
do. No, you have to just pitch the ball in the wicket if you are a mystery spinner. If the
Yeah,
batsman is not picking you, he has no clue whether the ball will turn away from him or come into him. So I
yeah,
think that's been working from him. Just keep it simple, keep it wicket to wicket.
yeah. I don't know how many of you noticed Mahesh Dixon has got two kinds of carrom ball, one which comes in and one which goes away. That's what makes him an even more potent bowler because usually if you're picking a
Yeah,
carrom ball, you'll be hoping for the ball which comes away, goes away from the right hander. but he's got a
Yeah,
cannonball which comes into the right-hander as well. That's a very good variation to have, because not a lot of spinners have got that. Because if you're releasing a cannonball, you release it from the inside of your fingers to take it away,
yeah,
but you can release it from the outside of his middle finger as well. So that's pretty good advantage of Mahesh Dikshana, because I've seen Ajanta Mendes is the one who brought in cannonball. Then you had Ravichandran Ashwin who actually took it to another level. Now you have Mahesh
yeah,
Dikshana who's taking it to a whole another level with his variation of cannonball. That's good to see in
yeah.
T20 cricket, of
Absolutely,
course. Let's talk about Delhi
absolutely.
Capitals. Yeah, because it's a huge, huge loss for them in terms of the chances to qualify to the playoffs as well. You expect them to finish off well because they were gaining the momentum slowly. You can see that Prithvi Shaw is out. He is down with fever and is admitted to the hospital. That's a massive loss as well. But you reckon their bowling is something which have let them down today, because their reliance, Mustafizur Rahman, was done really well for them over the last 3-4 matches. He was dropped. They brought in Onvik Nokia after the injury. He's not looked the Onvik Nokia we knew at all. He's picked up wickets here and there, but he's going for plenty of runs as well. What could have Delhi done
Yeah,
better today?
yeah, I think not just for this game, their bowling has been their weakest suit. If you talk about it, they have a very good bowling lineup. It's strange that their bowlers have gone for almost 200 in the last 2-3 games when they absolutely needed their bowlers to come good, because they have a potent five bowling option with a very good six bowling option as well.
Yeah,
Somebody like an Akshar Patel or Mitchell Marsh is the sixth bowling option, so you can like determine their quality of bowling from the squad. So I think I don't know. It's just that it was not their day with the ball. And Nick Nokia,
yeah,
obviously he's coming back from an injury. He did pick up those 3 wickets, but two of those were like players just trying to slog him at the death. You are bound to get a lot of wickets. Even Shivam
yeah.
Mavi got one yesterday after getting smashed for 5 sixes in that over. So yeah, it's just that he hasn't like you just need 2 or 3 games. You should give him 2 or 3 more games to like calm him down, to settle his nerve, and probably we'll get to see the best of Henrik Nortje.
Absolutely. Let's talk about their batting as well. They brought in someone like a Shrikar Bharat today, rightly so, because he was waiting on the wings for way too long of a time. I thought he should have started the IPL. He would have been a good fit at number three when Mitchell Marsh was not playing, and he
Yeah.
is someone who can absolutely give you that option. To be the floater. He can bat anywhere in the batting order. He's done really well for RCB in the last season as well. I was pretty surprised not find him in the starting eleven from game one, but today he got an opportunity. He scored a good 8 runs where he looked good, but then he got out, unfortunately. Can't blame him much over there. But you reckon they're missing a lot of depth in their batting, because after number five, you have someone like Akshar Patel. On some days, you had Lalit Yadav coming in. Today, you have Ripple Patel, actually, who's playing instead of Lalit Yadav as well. These lads are not, furnished finishers if you look at T20 cricket. They can win you a match from here and there, but at number six, you don't have someone like a Dinesh Karthik. You don't have a Tim David. You don't have a batsman who can come in, like a Russell, to come in and change the match, isn't it?
But that's been the case for like almost all the successful teams. If you see, Rajasthan Royals does not have a very deep batting lineup. Neither does Gujarat Titans, nor does Lucknow Super Giants.
Lucknow Super
Uh,
Giants does have it.
yeah,
Uh,
but you can again argue that a Jason Holder or say a Krunal Pandya is
but
coming in at number
my
six.
question is this, Sandipani. Don't you think this is one of the biggest weaknesses as well? On a bad day, if you get top three of Rajasthan, for example, Sanju, Joss, and Shimran, all of a sudden you find Rajasthan torturing for a very low score. Same thing has happened with Gujarat Titans as well. But if you're Lucknow Super Giants, they've got someone to come and save them, like a Marcus Jonas, a Jason Holder. At times you have Ayush Badoni who have come in and chipped in pretty well. For RCB, you have a Dinesh Karthik and a Shahbaz Ahmed who has done really well at number six. So is that a huge, huge problem for these teams who do not have a number six? Because when you're chasing a bigger score, your top order is something who has to fire. You cannot rely it on your lower order, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have been saying it for the last 2-3 weeks now that most of the teams they are missing one proper specialized batsman. They are going in one batsman short, and
Hmm.
someone like Delhi Capitals. Do you really think that they need such bowling depth? If you are keeping 7 bowlers in your team and still going for 200, I think it will be a bit more like realistic if you try and strengthen your batting, because you are anyway considering 200 runs with the 7 bowlers that you're playing,
My
and you're not
question is,
even
what can
utilizing.
Delhi ideally do from here on? Who can they bring in? Let's
I
look at
think
the
I
squad.
was yeah I think I was happy with their team composition today. I think Yash Dhul will get a game in soon.
Yeah,
Other than that, I think Bharat got the game. Ripul Patel got the game. I think both of them really deserved games for Delhi Capitals. Lalit Yadav has had one or two good games early on in the season, but then he was not really doing anything with the bat or ball in the last few games. So I
right.
think today, and also Mandeep Singh, Prithvi Shaw's injury was a big setback for them because Prithvi Shaw was in good form. So I think that was a no-brainer. Bringing in Bharat was a no-brainer for me in the last game as well. I don't know why they went with Mandeep Singh, but it's come one game late. But yeah, today you can't really blame Bharat or say Ripul Patel for not coming out well, because if you are chasing 210, you obviously have that scoreboard pressure on you. And say Ripul Patel, when he came into bat, there was only 10-11 overs left with 13 runs required per over. So you can't expect somebody who is playing his first game to come in and slog right from ball one against some really world class bowlers like Bravo, Thikshana, who are sort of vary with their pace, have all sorts of variations. So it's very
Yeah.
difficult to a very difficult ask from him as well. And also we saw that Ripul Patel came in and he smashed that six against Moeen Ali, because before he got dismissed. So it's they will definitely come good. It's a very good choice. I think today's Delhi Capitals team composition was good. I think it was just not meant to be their day, because I was happy with the team that they went with.
Right. I mean, I would really like to see who do they really have, because on a bad day, you can see these kind of situations happening more often than not. And Ripal Patel, okay, he has done really well in domestic circuit and local level cricket. He is known to be one of those fierce hitters of the ball. But still, as you mentioned, can they play someone like a Robin Powell at number 6 and play a proper batsman at number 5, who can possibly, be that player who can do the finishing job as well?
But then again, if they wanted to adapt to that approach, they had Lalit Yadav. Lalit Yadav, whenever he has been promoted at the top of the order, say coming in at number three or coming in at number four, he has done good for them. Yeah, he is a slow starter, but he once he gets into his groove, he can really
Yeah.
accelerate in no
You
time.
have their squad right now, uh, and I really think they are missing out on a proper batsman here, isn't it? Because they have someone like Sarfraz Khan who they can bring in. They have someone like a Yash Dul. I think we have missed out on him here, but Yash Dul is another player who they can possibly bring in.
Yeah,
Do you reckon they can go for someone like a Yash Dul at number 3, pull down someone like a
I
Mitchell Marsh
think
at number 4, uh, Rishabh Pant at 5, and Raman Powell at 6?
I don't really know whether they will push them down the batting order. I think Mitchell Marsh will come in at number three. Rishabh Pant, according to game situations, he like in the last 3-4 games he has had to come in within the power play itself, because Delhi have been losing the first 2 wickets very early. So yeah, I think even if say somebody like a Yash Dhul plays, I think he should get at least one opportunity this season. He'll get one game soon, and if he plays, I think he'll occupy that number five slot. Because if they wanted someone like say Robman Powell to come down the order at number 6 or number 7, I think they would have adopted this approach before itself, because they tried out somebody like a Sarfaraz Khan, they tried out somebody like a Mandeep Singh, they tried
Hmm.
out Lalit Yadav of the order. They have tried to bring in Akshar Patel before Robman Powell in a couple of games. So
Right.
it has not really worked for them. So I think they have decided that we'll go all guns blazing. It's going to be all out attack for them, like either like the Punjab Kings that we saw early on in the season, that
Right.
they'll keep on attacking no matter what happens.
Right.
So that
Let's
is where
take
someone like a Lalit Yadav or a Yash Dhul or a Bharat, who can sort of calm the situation down a bit, he'll come very handy, because we have seen that Rishabh Pant, he has been coming in at number 4 and he has been just going at it from ball one. Even today, he started playing with like dancing down the track, falling all over the place and hitting those two boundaries, one and another boundary that flew off the edge. So I think he has been playing that sort of a game whenever he has been coming in at top, like coming in the power play. Uh, barring the previous game where he really struggled to get going early on, but then again, when Shreyas Gopal came to bowl, he just latched onto the opportunity and like struck it. So I think that's been his approach. So you need somebody like a Yash Dhul or say a Bharat coming sort of down the order once Prithvi Shaw is fit. Or you can even try out a Sarfaraz Khan or Lalit Yadav who can come in at number 4 eventually or number 3 and sort of stabilize the situation a bit and like not go all out attack all the time.
Right. Let's talk about the game one, which got over between RCB and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Uh, let's talk about Dinesh Karthik because yet again, that score could have been well 170, 172. From there on, he pushed it to 192. What do you make of his finishing ability? Because he's just getting better with every innings he's playing. He's got a strike rate of 200 in this IPL, which is quite phenomenal. I don't know. I have no idea if any other players had a strike rate of 200 in a whole of an IPL season with a minimum game time of 10 games. So that's a huge strike rate to have. I think as an analyst, you can pull it off like that and see if
Yeah,
anybody
I
else
think
has had it.
Russell, Abedi Villiers, they were really close in a couple of seasons.
Yeah,
Probably, but I don't think they had 200
200.
at the end
200
of
is
the
a
season. Yeah,
massive strike rate to have,
yeah, yeah,
and he's been able to finish. It's not like he's facing two balls or five balls. He's been able to face good
yeah.
number of balls, and he's been able to score a good number of runs. 8 ball 30 is a huge number of runs towards the end. That's what you expect of a finisher, and I don't think anybody in India is able to finish off like Dinesh Karthik. Alongside him, Dhoni is also doing it. So it's always nice to see your old two war horses going out there and doing the
Yeah.
job for you. And of
I
course,
mean, Dinesh Karthik is, yeah.
yeah, you can carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dinesh Karthik is absolutely very confident right now. Right now, his frame of mind is really, he's in a very good space of mind. Because even if you see today's game, he was just two of the first three balls. He tried that reverse sweep, which did not work. He tried to play one over the covers, like he did not connect with the ball. But he kept his composure. In the last five balls that he faced, he hit four sixes and one four.
Yeah.
So I think that is some confidence you got to have, especially because after the first three balls, you felt like today was probably not your day. You're not getting to time that ball, but with that one shot over deep mid wicket, he was back to form. So
Yeah.
he has been doing a phenomenal job for RCB. I think it is a very good sign for RCB whenever at least two of their top three, like two of either Faf du Plessis, Virat Kohli, or Maxwell fires, and then you have a Dinesh Karthik coming in at the end. And
Yeah.
talk about Patidhar. I mean, what an addition to the side. I
Yeah.
completely wrote him off early on because he did not have a very good season last time
Yeah.
around. He got 4 5 opportunities, he could not capitalize on it. But then again, this time around, the last three games that he has played, he come in at any situation. He's just pulling his team to, like, first of all rescuing his team from a position of from a spot of bother, and then giving them the perfect sort of position from where they can just go for it.
Yeah.
So it's a very good to see. We'll not speak much about Virat Kohli's third golden duck today, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't have nothing. We have nothing to talk about it at this point of time because we have discussed enough. Well, he's got to sort it out. Maybe he's got to talk to someone. Maybe someone needs to talk to him and just say, just go out there and be yourself. Today's dismissal was I would say, it was out of the run of the play. First ball,
Yeah,
just tipping that also of a spinner,
and it was
just
a
tipping
very
it
soft dismissal.
very soft and something which you don't expect. And
And even Suchit would not have expected to pick up the wicket of Virat Kohli, to be honest.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
just there to stem the run flow.
Yeah, it was a good wicket to bat on initially, at least with the new ball, and quite disappointing. And you saw Kane Williamson on the other hand getting out for a golden duck. Even Abhishek Sharma got out for a
No,
duck as
Kane
well.
Williamson got out for a diamond duck.
Yeah,
KL
but
Rahul,
yeah.
Kane Williamson, yeah,
So last
it's
4 days
very
you've had
rare to
four
see two
openers getting
consecutive.
out
Yeah,
for ducks. You've had KL Rahul got out
yeah,
for diamond duck, Virat Kohli for a golden duck, Abhishek Sharma for a duck, and Kane Williamson for a diamond duck.
diamond
And
duck. Yeah,
today did anybody get out for a duck? I don't think so. Yeah, today nobody got out for a duck.
no, no, no.
Yeah, so openers have been having a tough time, but nonetheless, Virat Kohli will hopefully come back very soon. Let's talk about RCB, the team. They've been able to pull some big wins now, especially after having those three losses in a row. You felt that the momentum was off, but their last win would have given them a lot of confidence going into this one. Sunrisers is never an easy team to beat, but then they went out with a lot of intent. Faf du Plessis batting out the 20 overs. That's something which you have seen of Faf du Plessis doing it even with Chennai Super Kings. How important a role is Faf du Plessis going to be? Because he is a player who has seen it all. He's a serial winner when it comes to championships. He's won multiple titles with multiple teams across the world in T20 cricket, and his experience what he brings to the table, especially in knockout phase. RCB would need to win two more matches from here on at least to secure a place in the playoffs. So, how big a factor is he going to be in these games?
I think first of all, one will be enough to seal the deal, because I don't think with the teams in the middle now losing quite a bit, because Punjab Kings lost yesterday, Sunrisers lost today, then again Delhi Capitals lost today, KKR lost yesterday. So I think it's the top four are sort of started to make a small difference from
Yeah.
the bottom teams. So it's a good sign for them, and RCB would be absolutely delighted. We have seen that whenever RCB they lose early wickets, they have like had some very horrible collapses. They
Yeah.
they have lost the first 4 or 5 wickets within the first 60-70 runs in 4 or 5 games, and then they had to have somebody like a Sehbaz Ahmed or a Dinesh
Do you
Karthik
reckon
pull
that's
them
where
out of this
someone like
situation.
Rajat Patidar has done a world of good for them? Uh, because one thing what we see of Rajat Patidar is that he has been able to come in and solidify that, because they had that issue, right, with Anuj Rawat and Virat Kohli also not scoring runs. They were two down more often than not. Then Maxwell used to walk into the power play, and he also used to find himself in tough position. The RCB was all of a sudden you had Shahbaz Ahmed walking into bat alongside Dinesh Karthik on more often than not and within 10 overs. But now
Yeah.
with someone like Rajat Patidar, that's something which has been able to RCB been able to assess or able to solidify, because Rajat Patidar is able to stable the ship. You saw even in the game against Chennai Super Kings, he came in at number 5, but he made sure there was no collapse even there, because they picked up 3 quick wickets, but then he built a partnership with Maipal Lomer, took RCB to 130, 140 odd from there on. He might have just played that 21 runs, but then that 21 runs is so crucial if you look at the game from a hindsight point of view. And now RCB will feel a lot more better with the teams just going back, as we discussed. The 5, 6, and 7 are falling behind in the table as well. They're all in 10 points. There's a jam right there. And RCB is 14 alongside Rajasthan Royals. And you have Gujarat and Lucknow at 16, which means, Sandipani, coming to you, is this going to be the top four at the end of the season?
No, I think we are still yet to see a turn. I believe one of Rajasthan Royals or RCB are going to fall below the playoff criteria, and one team from beneath will definitely jump up the
That's a
ranks.
big call.
So yeah, it's a big call, but I'm sure something like that is going to happen. Having said that, I think somebody like a Rajat Patidar, the last 3 games that he has played, RCB has had no collapses, because you have to realize that no matter how big hitters you have in your team, they are not like no team is going to score 240, 250 regularly, even though you may have the likes of Chris Gale, Andrew Russell, all the big hitters, Robman Powell in your team. But you are not going to score 240, 250 in every game. That's where all the team have to realize that they need one player who can play the anchor throughout the innings, who can hold one end together, and the somebody from the other end can absolutely go about the business. Someone like a Glenn Maxwell who can play his natural game. So I think RCB has finally having them. I think Virat Kohli played that role for them over the years. This time around, he has been in a poor patch of form and some bad luck, you might as well say.
Yeah.
But Rajat Patidar coming in at number 3 has been giving that stability to the team. And hence, you
Yeah.
have seen in the last 3 games, RCB have done really well with the bat.
And let's also speak about the bowling options, right? We've got a question on Asaranga. Hasaranga has been a very good buy for RCB. Now, if you look back at it, 10.75 on Hasaranga and Harshal Patel, the RCB will feel like they've had a good purchase over there, because Hasaranga can also contribute with the bat. We've not yet seen it, but you know that he can. On a good day, if he can also contribute with the bat, that's something which will put him apart from Yuzvendra Chahal. Yuzvendra Chahal, there's no doubt, there's no comparison between Yuzvendra Chahal and Hasaranga, but then it's an added value what Hasaranga brings onto the field as well. Hasaranga was a terrific fielder, but quite disappointing to see the number of catches he's been dropping this season, especially. Let's talk about Hasaranga, the bowler. He's picked up 21 wickets, second on the tally of purple cap. A fight for the who's going to be the best leg spinner in the tournament.
Yeah.
Chahal and Hasaranga. What has Hasaranga really brought into the table for RCB? Because today's 5 wicket haul is just magnificent, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a really unpopular opinion at the start of the tournament. I always believed that RCB has had their like to like replacement for Yuzvendra Chahal. That is saying a lot, because Hasaranga, one may compare that he has played He has not played against someone like some of the top teams regularly. He has been playing against, say, Bangladesh or West Indies more often than not. So you might as well argue that Hasaranga has had not like did not have to bowl to some of the world class batsmen in the past. So yeah, definitely you can't compare him with Chahal right now. It's just the start, but I think he has shown great promise. And RCB had in their mind, like they actually thought of him as a like to like replacement for Chahal. Otherwise, they would not have invested so much on him. They believed in him, and I am very happy to see that he is finally coming good for them.
Yeah.
And also, I had a very unpopular opinion about him being the Liam Livingstone of IPL. So since Liam Livingstone is also performing, I might as well say he's still the Liam Livingstone of IPL. He has been
Yeah.
adding that extra flavor to the team,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
his
that's
four
something
overs
which
have been very
you
crucial.
expect out of someone like Hasaranga and Liam Livingston, right? Because they've done well so good in the other leagues because they've done well for a long period of time. Well, it's not just that they've done well for one season and they've made names. For a longer period of time, they've
Yeah,
been able to be consistent. Let it be the World T20, let it be the 100, let it be international cricket as well. Hasaranga has made name. And Hasaranga actually came into the fore with his performance against India in the last year's T20I series where
yeah,
India touched Sri Lanka, and he was just good, just on the field with the bat and also with the ball. That's something what makes Asaranga apart. And he got selected for RCB the last season as well, but he not got a lot of
yeah.
games. But now, he's just being that leader in the spin attack. Alongside him, he's got good support with the likes of Maxwell, who's been able to ball. You have a Shahbaz Ahmed who can ball. You have Mahipal Lomror who can ball. So RCB is walking into every match with 8 bowling options. So is that a luxury which RCB never had that now they've been able to enjoy, Sandipani?
Yeah, I think it's better than KKR's eight bowling options. The eight bowling options that RCB has is far superior than that of KKR. Because honestly, like jokes apart, I think Maxwell has been a very good addition for them with the ball. Because we always knew once the pitches started to slow down, Maxwell will eventually play a big role in the team's success with the ball in the power play. Like
Yeah.
we have often seen that he has had very good matchups against left-handers, and whenever the opposition captain like Fab du Plessis, whenever he sees that a particular left-hander is in good form, a opening batsman, he will give Maxwell the ball. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think Maxwell has been a very good addition. You always expect Josh Hazelwood, who has been terrific, who has improved his internet wide ball game by like far. He has been a way better performer with the ball in wide ball cricket than he was 2 years back. He has made vast improvements. Somebody
And
like a
yes,
Josh
Josh
Hazelwood,
Hazelwood did
yeah,
give credit to CSK for the last season improvements as well.
yeah,
Last season, he
definitely,
was one of the core members of that win where CSK has enjoyed. Because last season, he alongside Deepak Chahar used to strangle teams up front, which made it really difficult for teams to put up a good score. And even in the death overs, he has been able to develop some really good slow balls. He's not someone who's going to, deceive you with variations, but his lengths are the key. He's so
yeah,
consistent with his lengths that batsmen find it so difficult to get away. It's tough to take him to the cleaners, unlike many fast bowlers, because you can line up, but then the bounce also what he's able to extract from the Mumbai wickets. Mumbai wickets is something I expect Josh is able to enjoy bowling upon. It'll remind him so much like the wickets what he get in Australia because you get good bounce, true bounce out of those wickets, and he's been able to pull off the length pretty well as well. That's what differentiates Josh Hazelwood from other fast bowlers. I reckon right now in the world, when it comes to T20 format bowling, I think Josh Hazel will be right up there with some of the bowlers
yeah,
because I reckon even the world T20 rankings, yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
there
yeah.
at number one, number two because he's been able to have some really good series. Let's talk about
Yeah, he's
Sunrise
definitely high.
Hyderabad
Yeah.
because it's their fourth loss in a row. After the two losses they've been able to pull out 5 wins, but now they've had 4 straight losses. What's really happening with them, Sandeepan? What's really happening with them, Sandeepani?
Yeah, yeah. I know. I had already said way before they started losing that someone like a Sunrisers Hyderabad, you don't really consider them like with the sort of team that some of the other teams have. You don't really consider them to have a very good season. It was a pleasant surprise to see somebody like Natarajan step up for their franchise, and someone like young Umran Malik coming in bowling with that pace. But now, right now, I think he has been a bit too predictable with that pace.
You reckon,
He is not.
you reckon that's
Yeah,
also because he's been not able to ball wicket to wicket channels? Today there was an interesting comment made by Ian Bishop. Umran Malik has had success when he balls that wicket line because it's tough to get him away from those lines because you miss and he hits. That's how he works. That's how he's picked up 15 wickets in the tournament as well. In the last 3 games, he's been giving way too many width for the batsman to just line up and hit him over the covers, hit him over point, or hit him over mid wicket as well. That's something he should be working on. You reckon?
I think right from the time he has come into bowl in the last 3 games, the batsmen have taken out, like, have gone for it against him. Like, they have started to attack him. Thanks, Jaren. No, see, actually, whenever he has come out to bowl in the last 3 games, the batsmen have just taken the attack to him. So he has not had the time to settle down and like work on his length. We have seen that Umran Malik has picked up a lot of wickets. He picked up a 5 wicket haul and a 4 wicket haul this season. But if you see that most of his wickets were at the like in the last 6-7 overs of the game. He picked up those 3 wickets in the last over against Punjab Kings. Even the 5 wicket haul, he picked up those 2 wickets in the last over against of his last over against Gujarat Titans. So he was by that time he had settled to into a good rhythm. He was bowling wicket to wicket, and if you are bowling at 150, 155 kilometers per hour, and you are bowling straight wicket to wicket and hitting the pitch hard on a good length, and the batting team has the run rate pressure. He has the scoreboard pressure. So I think it will be very hard to take on him. But right now we
Uh,
see that he's
I
coming
have
out,
another question
coming in.
also on
Yeah,
that. Someone like Umran Malik, he has not played a lot of cricket if you look at his career as well, because his first class game was an India A game against South Africa A in South Africa. So you know that he has not played any first class game at all. And if you just talk about his bowling as well, he's still raw. He's still raw as a bowler. Do you reckon this kind of pressure when a bowler is put under, or these kind of situations, for example, there's a lot of expectation as well on him after those good performances, especially after the 5 wicket all, does it get you at some stage, you reckon?
yeah. If you talk about fast bowlers bowling at 150 kilometers per hour for India and not having the right line and length, somebody that comes to your mind is Varun Aaron. Like Varun Aaron had a very good start with the ball, and then eventually people found out that he does not have a very good channel to bowl in. He gives you width early on. He strays down the leg side. So see, what's more important is having that right line and length, because that's why you see a Josh Hazelwood way more successful than an Umran Malik. Because you may come in at 149, 150 kilometers per hour, but you may be full and you may go for
Do you think
lots
that's
of
where
runs.
someone like an Umran Malik should be treated differently as well? He's been given death overs recently because you don't have a Natarajan, you don't have a Marco Janssen as well to ball in the power play, because he's been able to come in, he's been balling in the power play as well. Today he balled in the seventh over, he went for 20 in his first over. But I reckon you need to give it a lot of time and you should not compromise on pace with someone like him, because he's a gem what you find. And someone like Varun Aaron was not treated well. I thought he could have also been a bowler uh, who should have been given that confidence to say that you just focus on pace. But I reckon now with the fitness and everything what you have, I reckon someone like Umran Malik should be protected, and he's in the right hands of Dale Steyn as well. I reckon he's going to be a
Yeah.
much better bowler post the IPL, and it'd be interesting to see whether he makes it to India A squads for some tours, because we'll be having many of these tours as well. Whether he'll be part of the India setup as well as a net bowler or even as a player, we'll all see, because there are a lot of matches coming up. A tour of Ireland
Yeah.
is there, a tour of England, because you will have a lot of matches and you will need a lot of players to back up as well for your main bowlers, because a
Yeah.
World Cup is around the corner. Having said that, Sandipani, how did your day go in the fantasy field? Did you have the right picks? Did your line and length absolutely be spot on today? Because you know that you are very good at I know that you are very good at predictions, and we know that you've been able to pull out some really good wins in fantasy field as well. So have you been able to do that?
Yeah, I'm really good at fantasy predictions. I'm not too good at team predictions. It might seem right now, but yeah, fantasy wise, I had another ball because a lemonade kind of a day. I think in both the games, whatever contest I joined, I won, because I had players like I did not make David Warner as my captain. I had Moeen Ali as my captain and Mitchell Marsh as my vice captain in one of the teams, and it paid off. I definitely had Devon Conway as my vice captain in one of the teams, and it paid off. So I am going in with 2, 3 teams, and all of them are coming good. It's good to see. So let's see how long it goes now. I think it's the third or fourth day straight when I have been having this kind of a day. So
We're
just
gonna win. Just
capitalize while it
come in.
lasts.
I think that's something. which motivates us to even keep bringing more content. Thanks for that. We are focusing, and I don't know if it gains or not, but
Yeah,
it always it helps us because you people are coming and giving us views. So thanks for that. How to you have been a
yeah,
very consistent person who comes to our channel and
yeah.
comments every now and then.
I know.
You are one
I
of our
think
motivators.
even he will benefit a lot from our fantasy predictions. I mean,
Yeah, I think.
if you start earning from the game you love, I mean that's I think just focusing on life right there.
I don't know how to deal with this guy. I think that's what his name suggests as well. Thank you for keeping us entertained, Mr. How to.
Yeah,
We take this absolutely on our stride. So guys, I really request you guys to go play our contest on Boom 11 because it's totally free to play and you can win prizes worth up to $5,000 this IPL. So don't miss out on the chance. And people, everybody like How to as well. I suggest you to go play because totally free to play and you can earn something there and gain something for sure from there. As we have gained, you can also gain. And
yeah,
also subscribe to our YouTube channel and so follow us on Twitter as well. That's where we'll be doing the Twitter Spaces before every game. We'll be giving out fantasy predictions. We'll also be previewing the game alongside Jones, Sandipani, and also Nikhil. Don't miss out on any of the content what we provide. And follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting some interesting memes, which will make you chuckle always. And we also do our top 5 fantasy predictions out there. So follow our Instagram right now. The links are on the bio. Click it right now and enjoy the IPL and sports season with Boomer 11. Thank you, Sandipani. I hope you had a ball of a night.
yeah.
Hoping to join you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Definitely. Good night.